Welcome to Trading Lounge and the indices, and starting with the S&P on the weekly chart here. So we're looking at two counts to the upside. We have wave 3 and 4 here. We can go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here and keep building up into wave 3 and then wave 4 and 5 to make wave 3 up here, and then 4 and then 5 up here, as so on. Or we could look at it in this case here, where we're looking at all of this move here as wave 1 here and then back for wave 2. So they're the two counts. So if we go in and have a look at this one here first, here I think it is. So this particular one here, where we have wave 4 here with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Now there would be a case to put wave 5 here and put this a top in here, and we've got the elections coming up and so on. Now I don't think this is the case. As I've mentioned before, in terms of, well, let's just have a look at the banks here for a moment. JP Morgan's here. You can clearly see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need a fifth wave up here for this. You know, we can have a look at, this is a weekly chart for Morgan Stanley. You know, this is still needs to see moves to the upside, and also Goldman's over here as well. We've got 3 waves to the upside here, so we know that markets don't top in 3 waves. I mean, we could look at it as a triangle pattern, as an A, B, C, D and E here, as we can do with Apple as well. So it's possible in that particular instance to have that, but generally speaking, the banks still need to move higher. So based on that, I don't think putting a top in here is the right thing to do at this particular point in time. Now, obviously the markets are the boss, and we're all just the busy bee workers, and we'll see what the boss says at the end of it. But what we're not seeing at the moment with all of this is, you know, for a change in trend, we'd want to see a decent, you know, 5-wave structure to the downside. In that case, you know, and we're just not seeing that just yet in this market. We could, but we're not there yet with it. So let's go in and have a look at the other counts. So the other counts would be that more of a bullish count here with this one here. So from this wave 4 here, we have wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. As folks normally say, that these 1s and 2s don't normally pan out. I understand that as well. But I don't see this as an impulse wave at this stage here. You know, I mean, it's the NASDAQ that has been sort of leading the move down. So we have a look at the triple Q here, for example. This move here, you know, this is better off as a B wave than a wave 2. You know, it's too big for a wave 2. So it makes an ABC pattern here much better at the 61.8% there. You know, and the SPY the same as well here. So it's a bit messy in here, and you could view this as 5 waves down here as 1 and 2 in this particular case. I get it. So we'll see what comes out of this particular move here, but just eyeing those sort of cash markets up a little bit, because the NDX will be pretty close to the triple Q on that one. So we've got this situation here. So this is the way I'm going to play it out. And as I mentioned, you know, we do have the elections coming in 13 days or so. So let's just go into start drilling in here a little bit. So you know, this particular pattern here, we've got a situation where we can have this as wave 4 or 2 here in this case here. So we don't need to understand the rest of it at this point, and looking at this as wave 1 here with an ABC for wave 2. Okay, this is the little pocket, the 62 to 65%. But it's certainly deep into the 50% at this stage. And also too, as I mentioned in the stocks video this morning, that the 8 here, the minor level 8 here, the top of group 2 here, really now has been is being tested. And this is what I'd always expect. I expect you know, and there's good support on the top, you know, through here as well, that will show up over here as well, of course. And so there's good support here based on previous trend over here, and we're getting what I should, what I would expect at the number 8 here, the 800. So based on that, we're going to go drill in 20 times on that. So we're going to go from 20,000 to 1,000 ticks and investigate that corrective pattern a little bit more. So it's a bit difficult to get a 5-wave structure down here. It probably, because this has got the futures market in it as well, it may be better, easier on the cash market. But what we want to see here is we've had this turn here since we've done the stocks video, so that's good. I can count 5 waves down here. So this next move up here, this would be a little wave 1 and 2 in here, so a little wave 3 to go up here, a little wave 4 and a 5 here. This is really what we sort of need to see. We'll take a closer look at this particular pattern on the NASDAQ, okay? And if you get these 5 here and you see the market pull back, that pulls outside, you can see that all this strong move here is part of, that's one family member, and then this family member's got its own personality here. So this train here still needs to probably go a little bit higher, and then you'll get wave 4, because we haven't seen a wave 4 in this little trend yet, and then a wave 5. So you need to wait for that. And if we start heading up here past the top of, because technically this could be an A and a B and a C wave to here. So yeah, but if we get these 5 here and you see the drop away, then you know that we've got those 5 waves there, and we're good to go. I don't know if I've got this on the 100, but I'll just check to see if I've done it. No, I haven't done it here. I've done it on the NASDAQ, so we'll look at the NASDAQ. So this is the NASDAQ here, so 2 or 4 down the bottom here, 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and we've got this nice move to the upside there, and I've got the stochastics just set on the normal settings here. As you know, I normally have them running much faster because lagging indicators, but anyway, I mean, indicators just sort of help you swim between the flags, so to speak. But yeah, so this particular move here on 20k will go to 1k to pull that apart a little bit, and this is what I was thinking on the low here. It's in the pocket. This is the 61.8, this is the 62 to 65, so that's kind of what I look for. This is the 78.6, so I don't need to worry about that. But I can see here we've got 1 and 2 here, then 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1 2 3 4 5 for the third, fourth. So in this case here, so this should give you an idea. So we'll have the 5th here be in the in the Asian session, so it could be a bit messy, and then the Asian session will probably produce this wave 4 here for this being a bit like this, and then the wave 5 here. And so you kind of want a clear sort of breakaway from that trend. Now, will it come back to, here, or will it come back to here? I'm not quite sure, but you'll see a 3-wave move there, and then you can make a move at that point. So what we're really looking for is that, because if it gets to this 3rd wave here, then it could just come down here, because that would leave us as an A and a B and a C wave at that point. So we want to move past this little consolidation here. Now, it's going to get messy because it's in the Asian session, but just be patient and see if we get a little push up into the 2-2 here. So 1, 2, and 3 up here are part of group 1. So yeah, that's where we are. And obviously, if it does move away from here, you can buy the pullback here, or you can take wave B out. Sometimes it's too high, sometimes it's perfect. Or if not, once the ABC's done, just wait for the first little impulse wave here, and then move in on that one, a little ABC here, and then you can manage the risk by putting the stop here. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, and that's what we're sort of seeing. We've seen Tesla come off its earnings here as well, so we were looking for well, I was looking for this wave 3 here. I was looking at this move as a wave 4 here to come back to this wave 4, or we need to put wave A over here and look for a wave B over here for this, but we'll see what happens after the dust settles on that there. That's what happens in earnings and so on. Rightio, so that's that really there. So when we come over to the Russell, this is the Russell here, the IWM. So we've got 1 and 2 and 1, and also have to stay with wave 2 being lower here. And once again, I'm just going to watch this. Well, I've got 5 waves here, so I'll just watch to see if we get an impulse wave here now for this. So we do need to see, we need to always look to the next highest, closest, largest number as support. So you need to see support on here, because it's going to fail. It's going to fail at that point. You know, I mean, failing at this point could be before it, could be on it, or it could be above it. You know, you don't know until we just give it a little bit of time, and then we just buy new highs after that. You know. So that's the Russell. And we come over to the DAX, and this will be the same bullish count as the DAX. So we can go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then pushing up here higher for that. Or we could look at this the other way, and we just go to this one here and look at it the same as the other way. We can look at it like this here in terms of wave 4 here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I could bring wave 5 down here and put a top in here, but like I said, the banks are not sort of done yet. So yeah, I think we still need to go up further. But, you know, I don't want to panic on the first sign of the color red. Do you know what I mean? I would need to see a little bit more to it than this. So looking up at this is 1 and 2. So we need to go in and investigate that a little more. Let me just check here for a moment. So on the futures market, this is a little top here, but on the actual cash market, the index itself, that's the top, and this one's lower than that. So we're going to look at this as wave 1 with an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 3. This is a little bit of a cacophony here. So basically an A and a B and a C it could be viewed at, and then I look over to this little section here. So I'll just go to the drill in here to the 100 on this here, because I still think there's a little bit more to go down. So on that wave 4 that I just mentioned, then we've got a little 5 waves here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Looks so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it wants to go up, but I'm still 1 wave short here. So even if it wanted to go up, it could only go like that. Have to go, well, even that pushes it up further. I was just still expecting 1 more little move here for this, you know. It's sort of in 3 waves here. Definitely 5 here. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless I got to squish it into something stupid like that. I could see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So, but that's just, you know, I mean, I'm bending the envelope sort of looking at that. But it does look like, I mean, that's impulsive here. So it wants to do another impulsive wave, you know, over to the other side here for this. So, and that's corrective. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it definitely wants to push up here somewhere. So look, the low is probably in, but because I can't see the extra wave here, and I mean, I could see where I could sort of jam it in, but you know, I don't like forcing things. So yeah, so I'm a little bit unsure about that. But what we could do is we could go, well, that's top of group 1. That's a 50. I mean, definitely above the 400 here. Would like to get a long trade there, but on that, but it's the end of the session and all the rest of it as well, so I won't bother with it too much. But there's going to be a resistance here in terms of so from the 300 to the 400 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, and then we've got group 2, the 65 in here. So these numbers will become in 72 here. These numbers will become important here as you'll see the market sort of move and groove through those sorts of things. So, you know, that will be where the next resistance is here. So look, it might fail, you know, but when it comes up and overlaps this wave 1 down here, once it overlaps that, it's kind of said and done at that point, you know. But at the same time, you can see that these points are important here, and if it doesn't go above here, you still want to kind of you know, in one way or another, in some way or another, I'm just exaggerating it here, but in some way or another, you want to see that there's some sort of consolidation based off the resistance here, and then a push up from that point, and then that would see you to the upside at that point, and then you can use the 400 to build in onto once that's got support waiting for the first high above the level, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, it could overlap here and then drop down here. It could do that. We see that, in these sort of time scales, we see that overlap of 1 and 4 in these sorts of things. So yeah, so a little bit unsure about that one, but it looks bullish from this little pattern here, but the bigger pattern here is telling me it should come down. But if it overlaps that, then it's likely there's another tick in the box to go higher at that point. But you want that group 2 here, 65, 72 and 8, you want some sort of solid support in there for that. Okay, and then we come over to the FTSE, and it's a dog's breakfast, all of this, and probably it's the economy as well. So like I've said before, this wave 3 and 4 here and then up for 1 here, that's fine because that's in line with the DAX. But the DAX's wave 1 here was higher up here, taking that top out here, so that was nice and simple. Looking at this here, we could have this as an A and a B and a C over here, that would work, and then looking at this as 1 and 2, that would work. We do need that 8-3 again here now as support. So in looking at the bigger picture here, it came up and dropped back and came up and dropped back, didn't sort of get up there again. So the stochastics are looking like it wants to push up there. So anyway, I won't go into a lot of detail today, but we do need that 8-3 there as the count, as the tested support. The other count for this is a whole lot of 1s and 2s in here from this wave 1 up here. So this wave 1 here, the other way to look at this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So either way, but it doesn't really matter. I don't have a setup here unless we get this 300 here as support. So on the intraday tomorrow, we'll have a little look there. There could possibly be a low in here with the other markets, but I can't confirm that at all at this stage. So there's nothing to be had here at the moment. And then we come over to the Australian market, and yesterday we were looking at this as 1 and 2 and 1 here and an ABC for 2 here. It's quite low amongst all this here, but there will be good support here. Because the other markets are pushing up, I was kind of, we've got our 5 waves down here. I was kind of like, hoping really, I mean, I'm just not really good analysis. I know that, crossing your fingers and doing other sorts of magical things. But look, hopefully it will just push up from this support in line with the rest of the markets. So I can view this here as corrective. So I would like to go into this. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't get any bearish, because it could go 1, 2, 3 and A, B, C for 4 here and then come down. I get it, but I do like sort of pushing the indices in line with the bigger indices around the place. But it's not to say that this is the low here. We just don't have enough evidence on that. But on the 100 here, if I look at this as a low here, I'll look at this as 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, and ABC here for this, and the A wave and the B wave. I could get 5 waves out of that too, actually. I could go 1 and 2 here, and yeah, still overlap here though, don't I? So anyway, the B wave here, I mean, this pattern here is the same as this little pattern in here really. So I can, in this case, I can go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here. So like the other markets here, I could probably, I'll just use these because I've got access to them here, but it may be 1 degree higher. So in this case here, so we're looking for a little third, fourth, fifth here for this. So let's just see how this plays out here for this. We want some sort of 1 and 2 in here somewhere for this. So it's going to take a while to, oops, daisy, it's going to take a while to build off here. That's 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth. I can put that in here and that here. And that would probably be over here with this here and some this here. So basically what we want to see here is we want to see, because the markets are red in the US, that means that our banks will bring us down, our materials will bring us down, I guess. I think the dollar was up, I think. So I mean, this could be an ABC pattern, of course, but otherwise some little smaller high here. And what we're kind of looking for is some sort of ABC pattern here and then up. So no need to trade over here just yet. We just need to, we need to look for Yeah, something down at, possibly down at the 190 area there. Possibly at that point would be sort of the lowest at that stage. I mean, we should see once the market opens and drops, the banks will drop, create a gap, and then the market will go up and try to cover that gap, and it will cover the gap and then drop again. But will it pick up after that? That's what we're sort of looking for. So we'll just wait and see, and we'll see what this looks like tomorrow at this point. I mean, I could probably get an ABC out of this, but looking at this as 1 and 2 and here, it's just, I'm supposed to get, no, it doesn't. It's better off as a corrective, but either way, they're both a bit shabby, you know, so a little bit undecided. But if we're going to be bullish, we do need to see a nice impulse wave, and we don't have that yet. That's the main gist of all of this, right? So this may not be the low here, so don't take my word for it at this point. We need to, you know, we need to see something stronger here, and I'm hoping it will be stronger because of what we're seeing in the US markets. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Cheers.